Hello and welcome to another video. It's Simon Hurley from Inklips, and today I'm going to be showing you how to create a really fun card using some regular old Crayola colored pencils and a Hero Art stamp set. I'm going to be using the Woodland Creatures stamp set, and I've been dying to use this and waiting for a great technique to use it for. And since it has so much open space, I wanted to use it for coloring with colored pencils. So that's what we're doing today, and I'm going to be using the squirrel, the butterfly, and the ladybug, as well as a fun sentiment to build the scene on my card. So I'm using some Crayola colored pencils. You can find these on a back to school sale probably right now, and they'll be even cheaper than they already are. So you can probably find them for a great price. So I wanted to test out to see if they would work really well and kind of compare to some of the higher quality brands out there. So I think they did a pretty good job in today's video. So I'm going to walk you through how I colored with them and kind of show you how I did it. So I started out with a super light hand here, and I'm going to use kind of circular motions with the colored pencil to make sure that it blends nicely on my squirrel. And since Crayola doesn't really have a amazing color variety of all their colored pencils, they usually only have, 1, 2, or 3 of each colored pencil. But if you're only getting like a 12-pack of colored pencils, you only have 1 or 2 shades of each color. So I'm starting out with this super light brown color, and I'm making it even lighter by having a lighter hand. I'm also going back with that same brown color and adding a little bit of darker color with my with a darker, heavier hand. So that's what I really did with this. If you really wanted to, you can do it with almost every color and get double of each color. So I'm also going to go in with a darker brown here and have 3 shades of each color. So I think it looks really nice. And also one thing you really want to know when working with colored pencils, you want to work in layers, and you don't want to try to get it all done in one go. It doesn't really work well like that. You want to try to get as much blending as you can going on here and make it as smooth as you can. So that's why you want to work in lighter layers and have a lighter hand so that it doesn't dig into your paper and so that it blends really nicely as well on your card. So I'm just going to keep coloring in my squirrel. I don't really follow where the light sources go, and I don't really use that technique. I know there's a lot of great references out there, but what I usually do is just add the color where I think that it looks best, and it usually turns out pretty nicely. And today I think that squirrel looks really nice with the shadows that I added. So now I'm going in with a darker color of brown, again with a nice light hand, and I'm going really close to the edge and kind of following where where that earlier shadow that we made was, except I'm just kind of staying closer to the edge. I don't want to overwhelm this little squirrel with shadows, so I'm just adding a couple, and I also went back and blended them all out using the same colors. It's kind of like using Copics, where you want to go back and reblend them out. I've colored in both of the other images, including the ladybug and the butterfly, and now we're moving on to the ground and sky. So I'm starting out with this really light green color, again with a light hand, and I'm going to be going right under that squirrel and under that ladybug and adding some darker colors. Then I'm going to kind of move off or kind of fade out, and I'm using a lighter hand to even get a super light color as we fade towards the bottom, because I want there to be kind of some drop shadows from that ladybug and that squirrel, and you'll see that in just a minute. So I'm just keeping a super light hand and going in back and forth motions to create the ground. So I'm going again with that same color, or actually I think it might be a different color this time. I think I had 3 greens here. So now I'm going in with a little bit of a darker color and adding some more drop shadows right beneath that, and also a little bit further away from the images too. And I blended that out with a lighter color. And then I'm using a darker color of green and adding that directly underneath each image that we have there to add some more drop shadows. And then I'm going to blend that out using my other colors and kind of finish off blending it out. Again, going back to some of the lighter colors. So now I am going to the sky, and you'll notice that with the ground I made it a little bit darker where the sky and the ground will meet, because I wanted it to be a really defined edge, and I'm going to do that with the sky too. However, I don't need to worry about too much shading in the sky because there aren't many shadows in the sky. I'm going to just make some darker shading where the ground and the sky meet. But that's basically all the shading that I'm going to do in the sky. Otherwise, it's just going to be kind of a lighter color. So I'm just, again, going in with a darker color here and adding it around some of the images and kind of near the bottom to make a more defined edge so that the grass and you can kind of tell the difference between the grass and the sky, and it's a nice defined look. So overall, I think that the Crayola colored pencils did a super nice job doing this, and I think you just really have to take your time while blending and just make sure that it does a nice job. So I added that onto a top folding card, and I added some Wink of Stella onto my butterfly to kind of finish it off, and that about completes it for the card today. So my final result is that you can use Crayola colored pencils just fine on your cards, and I think it's a great beginner tool if you want to get further into your colored pencils. So this would be a great set to start out with. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and also please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you would like to see more upcoming videos in the future. All the products will be listed down below in the description or over at my blog, inklips.com, where you can find much more information about this card and some still photos. So I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I will see you in a card making video soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.